Apollyon from Noir and Coffin Storm, and you're watching RichardMetalFan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Episode 249 of Richard Metal Fan Interviews, calling from Zoom, and I'm here with Apollyon from Aura Noir, Coffin Storm, Lamented Souls, Two Trains, and Walk Livorin, and probably a plethora of other bands. So, how you doing today, man?
Not too bad, I guess. And you?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's a good
No.
good morning here in Georgia, where I'm at in the U.S. How's it over in Norway?
It's we just got rid of the last bit of snow today. It keeps coming back. We're all waiting for spring here, but Friday we had like loads of snow coming down, and now it disappeared again. So I hope it will stay gone until November or something.
That's good to know, man. So,
Yeah.
kind of like the format is, I want to talk about like your musical history and do a rundown of your discography, but take me back to young Apollyon. So, kind of growing up in Norway, what were the first bands that got you in the metal? What made you want to be a musician?
First band was Kiss, like everyone else. Um, and that was mainly because of what was that? We had some Kiss trading cards that came with some candy bags that parents would get their kids, in the late 70s, early 80s. I guess so. They had like the ones for the guys, I guess, had Kiss trading cards in them, whereas the girls wanted the ones with ABBA trading cards and BGs and whatnot. So when I started school, first grade, basically all the guys were Kiss fans, even if me and maybe two other guys had actually heard the music just, because of the imagery, and we had all those trading cards. But yeah, after that, I don't know. I didn't. Uh, I was always interested in metal, and I was observing back patches here and there, but I didn't really hear much until maybe when we got cable TV, I guess in 83, 84. And that's when I don't know, a couple of years after that, I saw like the Hell Awaits video from the Combat Tour. That's what I mean. That's probably where it all started with the whole thrash metal thing. And so between Kiss and Slayer and Metallica, I don't know. There wasn't too much metal going on. Just whatever. But
Yeah,
that, there you have it.
that's good to know. No, man.
Yeah,
So, but what instrument came first? Because I know you do vocals, guitars, bass, and drums. So I'm always curious, like what instrument came first?
I actually started playing piano when I was forced to, or something, when I was 7 until 11, I guess. But uh, and I wasn't too bad at piano, but I think I was the way I was taught. It didn't do it for me, like the notes and boring songs. The only thing I did was just play them faster and faster and faster, and then I would get told off when I came to the next lesson because, oh, you're playing too fast and you're not sitting upright and all these, you know. So I think around 15, I bought my first guitar, um, and yeah, I got another one around the age of 16, 17. That's the same I'm using today, like a Les Paul thing that I bought from a friend in class. Yeah, so that was the only instrument I had for up until, I don't know, for 15 years or something. And I bought a bass, um like, yeah, maybe 15 years after that, and I still haven't got any drums. So I don't know. I have a couple of guitars at least.
Nice, nice. And
Mm.
with playing like the different instruments, do you find it like and like you try to like express yourself like differently depending on creatively, like depending on what instrument that you play?
Um, yeah, I guess I'm. I think it's more fun to play drums, but uh, and I don't play all that much though. I play guitar basically just to make music. I have it most of the times. I have the music in my head first, and then I like play it on the guitar, play out the riffs. And bass is just, I don't know, unnecessary evil for me. I play it only to hide behind. I think I started. What's that? Yeah, it's just, I don't want to be a pure vocalist because I'm afraid of playing air drums and air guitar and stuff. It looks terrible. So it's just nice to have something to hide behind. But I suck at bass. I must say, at least, the fast. I haven't played bass in like a slower band before, so that would be more interesting and fun. But I think it's just annoying with the, or it's just, I don't know, man. Fast bass is not my thing.
Yeah, but yeah, so kind of like diving right in, because I know your first band was called Lamented Souls. Like, tell me about that. Like, I'm really digging deep. Like, nobody ever really talks about this stuff.
No, yeah, it was called Morax in the very beginning, but then Arcturus came with a 7-inch, and they had a that My Angel 7-inch, and on the B side there was a song called Morax. So we no, we can't call ourselves the Morax any longer. So we just, yeah, took the name Lamented Souls. But that was basically me, and when I came in college in Kolbotn, where we're from, I met this Olav, a bestial tormentor guy, and I had seen him before, around town or the village or wherever you call it, but I haven't met him before college. But we hit it off when we met there and started the band like immediately. And back in the very beginning, it was very, very mixed, all kinds of influences from we played slow even back then, but that was uh, probably due to, I don't know, early Paradise Lost, like the demos, first album and stuff. And we liked that. We liked Autopsy a lot, so it was kind of some Autopsy riffing going on in there, and also some black metal parts. So it was very schizophrenic, the whole thing. But it like after, when we did our first, or was it second demo, it became more traditional doom, and we had Vortex on vocals as well,
Yeah,
because he
great
was also
musician.
yeah, he was also in my class, and he started out as a drummer in Lamented Souls. but uh but he's not the less is more kind of guy. So I remember for the first demo, he had like borrowed, I don't know how many drums, but thousands of them, and cowbells, and we had to do takes over again because he hadn't, touched all his different drums in in that take. So, but yeah, he's a great musician. He can pick up any fucking instrument and play something cool on it. So
Yeah,
yeah. Mm.
yeah, and he's awesome. Now currently killing it with Borknagar.
Yeah, but after we let him sing and play guitar, he was discovered by all these other bands, so we haven't really seen him since. So that's why the whole band has been kind of on ice for 30 years or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Because I've listened to like those Soulstorm demo from '92 and the '95
Yeah.
demo, and it just sounds fucking badass.
Mm. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. Then I believe after that you formed Dodhemsgod
Yeah.
in '95. Tell me about that, because I know you did the Monumental Possession in '96.
Yeah. That was a band by, it was Aldron and Vikotnik and Fenris in it from the beginning. I guess I knew these Vikotnik, and I met these guys out on town, I guess, when I was, I don't know, around that time, 92, 93. 94, who knows. But so but I was in the army when they did the first, like way up north next to the Russian border, when they did the first album, Krone til konge. So I wasn't part of that, but I knew I was going to be part when I came back down to Oslo. So yeah, it was fun times. Rehearsal place was like next to the favorite hangout of all the metal bands in town, and all the bands had like the same apartment building, basically, that's with rehearsal places. Mayhem were right next to us, and Satyricon and Arcturus, and all the bands were like there.
Nice.
So that was good.
Nice. And then I know that same year, well, you had it before then, you started up Aura Noir. So how'd you form that band? Because you formed in 93.
Yeah, was it 93? Probably a bit early. It was no, that was, like I said, with the rehearsal place next to our favorite hangout. It's a lot of bands were formed this way. We're just out drinking, and said like, hey, let's go jam out some thrash metal, and that's what we did, and that's kind of how Aura Noir was formed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least the Aura Noir as we know it today, because originally it was a solo project from Aggressor, that I was just helping out with some guitar on one song and drums on another song for his demo. But then he kind of ditched that whole project, and we started playing thrash metal instead, or thrashy.
Yeah. But tell me about making that first album, Black Thrash Attack. So what was sort of like the thought process going into making the debut Aura Noir album?
Yeah, we had, released the mini CD before that, and also we went to studio to record Black Thrash Attack in Maniac from Mayhem's studio, but we weren't really happy with how it came out. So this was like our third time in studio, and I don't know, everything came pretty easy to us back then. Nobody was doing that kind of style any longer, and we were just playing thrash metal riffs, and just trying to make it as ugly as possible, basically. And
Awesome.
because most other bands were doing the black metal thing, and we were like thinking we can do nasty music too, just in a different style.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and one of my favorite songs from Black Thrash Attack is The One Who Smite. That's like one of my favorite songs. I apparently I know it's actually dedicated to Sodom's Obsessed by Cruelty. Was that song sort of like
yeah,
influenced by Sodom by any means?
it's very yeah, it's very extremely Sodom inspired, and it even has like Slayer mid part in there too. So yeah, if you listen to Obsessed by Cruelty, you will know. But yeah, so that's Aggressor's song, and he had all these. He had a couple of dodgy, but we still made them our own though. But some of the riffs are like really close to the Sodom and Creator and whatnot.
Yeah, that Teutonic thrash scene. Like I
Yeah.
saw I saw Sodom like a few months ago at the
Mm.
70,000 Tons of Metal cruise, and it was great. Of course, I'm gonna see them two more times at Maryland Death Fest, where I'll see you play. Like,
Oh.
so they're the fucking shit.
Yeah, I saw them this summer. Actually, we played with them. I love that. The two new kids in the band. I think they did a lot to make even the set list a bit cooler, and they just seemed more. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the best I've seen them in a long time.
totally.
Mm,
Then going into the second Noir album, Deep Tracks of Hell, I thought that was a great album, good follow-up to Black Thrash Attack, because usually with the debut album, you have your entire life to write, and there was a lot of hype with the first album. When it came to making Deep Tracks of Hell, did
mm.
you felt like any pressure to follow up Black Thrash Attack?
Not really. Uh, but I think um, no, uh, no, we were still young and careless, and uh, we had I think we had booked the studio like without asking anyone. So Blasphemer couldn't join. He was on tour when we were in studio, so we had to do everything ourselves, me and Aggressor. So that was like the only thing I know. And we went to the studio with the Ulver guys, like Chris and Knut, was it, or from Arcturus, and they were quite new in the game too, and so it has this kind of distorted sound, and it's a bit extreme. Not what we had expected, but I like is how it came out still.
Nice. And then
Mm.
kind of going back to Domscard, you did sort of like your last two releases being the Satanic Art EP and 666 International. So what was sort of the thought process going into those releases?
I don't know. We rehearsed a lot with both Monumental Possession and the Satanic Art EP. So that felt like kind of it was kind of a band feeling to it, but then with Satanic, no, with the 666, I guess it was more starting to get more pure 100% Vikotnik stuff, and he was kind of on a different planet than I was back then, so I left after that album. But I was really happy with the Satanic Art EP. I think I'm playing drums on that one. I switched like instruments on all the releases. I'm on guitar on the first and drums on the second, and then I play bass on 666.
Yeah, pretty busy
But
man.
yeah, or I don't know. I was degraded to bass in the end.
Yeah. But then I think it was like after that you started up Cadaver in 99. Tell me about that project.
Yeah, Cadaver was a band that we had liked. They were the first to release a proper death metal album from Norway, I think, like on Earache or that sub label. So I was into them from when I was a kid, or 17 or 16 or whatever. So like the main guy, Anders, he asked me and an Aggressor from Noir to join Cadaver and like start up again. Um, and yeah, we had like lots of troubles with our record label with Noir, so we were kind of interested to do something a bit more serious. I don't know. It was fun to just do whatever and play some old death metal as well.
Yeah. But tell me about
Mm.
that first album, Discipline from 2001. Tell me
Mm.
about what was the thought process going under that?
That's mainly Anders, like the only original member. It's all his album, so we just came in and played drums, and I only did vocals for that album. So
Yeah.
not much of a thought process for me at least, but it was all his songs. It's the second album that we all participated in making.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
also this year does also mark 20 years of since the last album you played with Necrosis. So
Uh,
tell me about that. How do you feel about the album now, like 20 years later?
um, Maybe like I've always done. We were very happy with it. Like when we had finished all the songs, we all contributed to making the songs, and spent a lot of time in studio. I remember recording like five different vocal takes, like one under the influence and one hungover and one sober and one not so. I don't know. They're just different moods, and we were really happy with the sound, but then something happened. I don't know. The guys who sat there in the end had some fancy ideas, so I wasn't really happy with how it turned out in the end, sound wise. But I have some advanced tapes back here that sound a million times more brutal. But so I don't know, kind of disappointed, but we still loved the songs at least, and it was cool to play them.
Nice and nice. Nice. But then kind of going back to Aura Noir, you did the Merciless, which also this year it also marked 20 years of that. So
Ah,
so how does that like album differ from like Deep Tracks of Hell or even Black Thrash Attack?
it's I don't know. I think we were kind of it was a good period for both. It's like, how was this again? Yeah, so it mostly me and Aggressor made the music. I know Blasphemer had been to my house. I think he had moved to Portugal already back then, so he wasn't really rehearsing with us. But he had been to my house and we had recorded like some riffs. So I used a couple of his riffs on some songs, at least. But the rest, me and Aggressor just uh, played in the rehearsal place, and we had there was a new rehearsal place this time, but also a good one, like Central Oslo, and we could go there like after we had been out drinking or whatever, and have fun. So, and I think, and my at this point, my vocals I had like 100% control over, so I was really confident in my singing, and also like in our guitar thing. I think we were that's like when we were at our best, maybe, and this was right before Aggressor's accidents, possibly. Yeah. So but yeah, to this day it's maybe my favorite Oranor album, along with the Hades Rise that came just after it.
Yeah, but then I know you also in 2005 you did that demo, the first demo with the Levolen. You did the
Oh,
Brutal
yeah.
Agenda in 2005. Tell me about
Mm.
that. That's like another thrash band.
Yeah, it's more punk, isn't it? That was just me, and yeah, also Bestial Tormentor from Coffin Storm and Lamented Souls. He's also in that band. Maybe not on the first EP, but it was just a bunch of guys who from Elm Street, the bar we would hang out, and we just planned to make some I don't know, punkish metal. Who knows? It was not very serious, but that was the whole idea, I guess. But like the owner of Neseblod, the famous record store where Helvete used to lie, he was the vocalist, and we had two guys from Red Harvest and Board, the last guitarist. I did. I'm not even sure. Did we do three demos or CDs or whatever you call them?
Yeah, well, you did like like a demo and two demos, an EP, and a full length.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But it was just a fun side project for most of the guys involved.
Yeah,
We
but
did.
then yeah, I know also in 2005 you also did Two Trains. You did that your EP Feel Free. Tell me about that, because that sounds really different compared to like some of your other bands.
Yeah, that was a guy from I don't know, from Kolbotn, where we're from. He's like a guitar teacher with a classic guitar and stuff, and yeah, me and two other guys from Lamented Souls actually are both Olav, a Bestial Tormentor, and Einar. Uh, we yeah, we did this stuff with him, and the same thing there. The first recordings we did was just mainly his stuff, whereas the second was like a joint effort, and I prefer the second one, but it has never been released. But it's for me, it was just a good way to learn to play different a different kind of guitar, because you had all these weird chords, and I didn't use distortion all the time like I'm used to. So but it was, so some of it was just nice. I don't know, but quite weird anyway. And at best, it sounded maybe like Sonic Youth or something. But I mean, we had much different parts too.
Yeah, yeah, and
I
you're
have.
yeah, you're saying.
Mm. I'm trying to remember. It's like back in those days, I was smoking extreme amounts of like those years we're talking about now. It's a bit hazy, the whole thing, but I remember it as a good period still, and
Yeah,
very productive. It's
yeah, but
before it all went downhill, because after a while it comes back at you.
yeah. Yeah, but you're like in like a lot of bands, going from or Norre to Coffin Storm to which
Mm.
we'll talk about in a little bit. But like with all the bands, like how different of a mind frame is it? Is it with all these bands? Are you allowed to like? Do you have to like be in a certain mind frame depending on the band or project that you're in, or do you have like sort of like free reign to sort of bring in like your own kind of like twist or spin on things with the bands that you're a part of?
Uh, yeah, mostly, I guess I'm allowed to put my little twist on things, but yeah. So yeah, if I'm allowed, then it's a fun band to play with. If not, then maybe it's a bit boring. But yeah, in general, I need the music to be I don't know, engaging, like fun or inspiring for me to want to play it. So, and if it's not, then I just can't play it if it doesn't inspire me. So I do quit bands from time to time if I'm no longer inspired by playing the songs.
Yeah, but
But
I
I think
know.
it's difficult to be on stage and play stuff that you don't feel.
Yeah.
Uh, for
Yeah, I know you also do some session work because I know in 2006 you did some vocals for a Sect with their self-titled album.
mm,
Tell me about that.
uh, yeah, same period. I remember we were in studio with Noir. Was it to either was it is the same studio that we went to record the Merciless? I think we went there to record like 3-4 songs for Hades Rise, um, like prior to when we actually recorded it. But we had them ready because we were very productive. So I have like 3-4 of the Hades Rise songs in earlier versions. I think it was during one of those sessions that um, whoever were in charge of the Sect projects had sent us like the music and told us that and just add whatever you feel like, and that's what we did in studio. But I can't really remember a whole lot. It was just something we did right there. nothing, no huge plans. Just we just I don't know felt whatever, and I did some vocals.
Cool. And then 2007, you did the next release with Laglavor, and you did Tiden Lager Al Sar, and I thought it was interesting. Like all the songs are sung in Norwegian. Is it kind of like in a way sort of like a personal kind of release for you guys?
You mean because it's in Norwegian? Or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. We were not aiming for anything, but you know, playing some live shows locally. So and just I don't know if the vocalists preferred to have the songs in Norwegian too. So that's just what we did. Or did we have anything in English? I don't
No, it
know. I
was
think
all just
most yeah.
Norwegian.
I think it's most is all Norwegian. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I always like it's interesting when I hear like a band like sing their native language. I always thought it was like interesting, even though I can't understand what they're saying. I just like, man, this sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I have the same. There are a few, and mostly, you know, I know I had an experience the other day with a Spanish band that actually sounded, because they had like songs in both Spanish and English, but the English ones sounded sounded better. But that's usually, you know, it's the other way around. You
Yeah,
sound better in your own in your own language.
totally.
Mm,
And then of course going to 2008, you did Hades Rise by Noir. Or
mm,
so tell me about like that album because I think that's one of my favorite albums from you guys.
mm. Uh, yeah, that was Aggressor coming back from. He had been hospitalized and stuff for I don't know, a couple of years maybe after his accident. So and I had been down visiting him at the recreation center. What do you call it? Like when he was training to become a normal person again.
Sort of like a rehabilitation center in a way.
Yeah, yeah. I was with lots of guys who had been in car accidents and all that. So, and I didn't even know he had a guitar there, but then he had made uh, a song like the Schizoid Paranoid track, I think, just with some computer drums. But yeah, so before that, it was all kind of uncertain with the whole Aura Noir thing. But right there, I knew that hey, we can make more music again.
Yeah.
So and I had moved away from Oslo to, you know, stop smoking so much and be more healthy. And I got myself like a studio stuff in, because I rented a big old house, and I had a studio set up in the basement so we can like play there all night. So I had Aggressor come visit me like I don't know loads of times, and we just stay there for a week at a time and play and make songs and drink. So it's basically it's mostly his songs on that album, because I was stuck behind the drums. On the Merciless, it's mostly my songs, but yeah. So I think 7 of those tracks are his, and then I have 3 tracks on it, I guess, that I play all the instruments on. But yeah, we kind of uh, I don't know, because it's not as fast as the previous albums, because he was a much better drummer than me. He was a proper drummer. I've always only been the annoying guy who plays during the breaks and stuff. So but yeah, so we tried to make songs that would fit my drum style more. So it's not as fast, but more a bit more clever than it is fast. And we also have these lovely guitar leads that Blasphemer did for us, and Danny Corrales from Autopsy. So yeah, possibly my favorite album too.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great comeback album after Aggressor had his accident. I'm just
Yeah,
shows like you guys are back and ready to kick some ass.
yeah. And I'd used all the equipment from the recording before the Merciless stuff. I bought all the like his mixer and the microphones and stuff from that old studio. So it was the first time we recorded it ourselves too. So we basically used the same equipment since ever since the Merciless.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then kind of going into 2009, you're because a lot of people don't know, you were in Immortal for a little bit. You did pretty much the last album with Abath, All Shall Fall, which I thought was a really good album. So how did you end up hooking up with Abath and Demonez and Horg at the time?
Yeah, they're from the West Coast, so it's not like we see each other that much. West Coasters and us from Oslo, but I was married to this woman from the same area that Abath lives in. So whenever I was there to visit my parents-in-law, that's when I would phone Abath up and tell him to help me out. So he came, picked me up, and we hung out a bit. And this was like just before they reformed. And I don't know, he phoned me up in 2005, six or something, and asked me if I wanted to be in to join Immortal. And I said yes, obviously, because it's always been one of my favorite bands from Norway. Even I follow them since at least I guess a demo or 7-inch era, and I always thought they were amazing to watch live. Really entertaining band.
Yeah.
I thought that I could, yeah, I wouldn't do them any harm by my appearance in a live situation. So yeah, that was good times.
Yeah, yeah, because I remember seeing like Abath solo a few times, and he's actually really good. He even played some Immortal songs, so that's pretty much, in my opinion, would be the closest I'll get to seeing like Immortal live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I even met him. He's like hilarious. Some people call him like the Robin Williams of metal.
Yeah, Robin Williams. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Why
yeah,
not?
yeah.
But
Then yeah, then going back to 2010, you did the next Wakalarvoren album, De Dodes Archive. Tell me about
mm,
that.
um, that's when Bestial Tormentor had joined, isn't it? Or had he already? I think he joined for that album.
Yeah,
So
he did
it's
join.
so maybe this is a bit more thrashy because he came in. Um, and but do I remember anything apart from that?
Yeah, yeah, just like the writing and
Yeah.
recording process, because you actually had a couple songs in English, like Under the Cross.
The only thing I know is that we did write it up in my place when after I had moved up to the mountains. I had to have all the bands come to my place, and it was a huge house, so everyone could stay there and make sweet music and drink every night and pretend to be 17 years old again. So I think we did most of the songs that way. At least I remember having all of them oh, up at my place there. And I get these albums confused. But I know I had made like a couple of songs just solo while I was back home that we used for Vaklevo, like something with Sola, something with the sun. Fuck, the sun is shining. It's in Norwegian. Faen, sola skinner. Is that? I think that's from that album.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Is there any plans to do any more with Lac Lavorin? Because I know in 2012 you also did that Nidag Ny Nederlag
mm.
demo.
I don't think so, but yeah, people. some people in the band are bitching about it, and some others like me are always turning down all kinds of offers. So who knows? But if we will return, it will be at some guy's birthday party or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
All right. But then, of course, going back to Aura Noir, you did the Out to Die that same year in 2012, which, funny enough, that came out on my birthday. So good birthday present. So how that was the making of that album like?
I think same, much of the same. Or did we start at my place and then I eventually had to move back down to the Oslo area because of some yeah, they sold the house I was renting, and I needed to be a bit closer to Oslo anyway. So that was kind of terrible for me, but still, I think we had started making the album up at my place, and then we went to like as you get older, it's difficult to get to have like four guys meet on a steady basis several times a month. So what we've done uh, lately is we have yeah, met somewhere remote and just spent a week together. So that's we did that with Out to Die. I think we had a week in Portugal where Blasphemer lives. We rented some summer house there in the middle of winter and spent the week together with like full backline in the living room, and we also went to Romania to a friend who lives there in Bucharest, and rented like an Airbnb for a week, and went to a friend's studio and recorded and made songs there, and then in the end we went to some guys in Necromantheon to record the drums, and the rest we did just at my place.
Cool. And because I know also that same year you did the self-titled Two Trains in 2012. So tell me about that, because I know there was like a long gap, because I know you had the Feel Free EP in 2005. So was it just like because you were like busy with like all these other bands, but then eventually you had time to do a Two Trains album?
Probably. But I wasn't even aware that we had released anything with it's very obscure, all this, but Two Trains. Let me think. I have no idea, man. It was, as far as I can remember, we release only one thing, and then the next one has never been released.
Well, you have like a sort of like a box set compilation from 2017.
A box with Two Trains?
Yeah, a box set compilation called Wrong Side.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, I can only refer to what I said earlier about the first thing we recorded was only Espen stuff, and the second was more joint effort. I don't remember much after. I wasn't aware we had released anything more than the first thing.
Yeah, I was like doing my research. I was trying to look this shit up and try to like ask you.
No, I don't know. I got some on my computer here that I was supposed to look into, like with mastering, but I think like all the original files are gone, so we're stuck with this mix that's not a proper mix for the second album. But at least it got more like raw. In the end, it was more more noisy. At least the last thing we did.
Right.
The first one was more nice.
And then kind of talking about the latest or Noir album, which is the self-titled album. I thought it was good because usually when a band does a self-titled album, it's usually like the first album. But when I see it like sort of like later in the career, I always feels like it's like a change or a new era. Was that sort of like the reason for it being self-titled?
I think we were just drunk and talking about it on some festival, and because and yeah, we learned the hard way, because there was no googling back in the day. So Aura Noir is actually misspelled in French, our band name. So because it's the aura is female, you should have an E in the ending. So we thought, like, what the fuck? Let's just call it Aura Noir with the correct spelling. And that was it. No big thoughts. But we had like a game plan for that album, was just to have only one guitar track throughout the album, and like no guitar doubling whatsoever. So they, like, during the solos there will only be bass and drums underneath, and no extra guitars, apart from maybe on the outro that has a couple. But the that was basically what we did.
Right. And being as it
Hmm.
has been 6 years since the last Or Noir album, have you all started working on the next album? Like, what's the status with that, if you're allowed to say?
Yeah, we haven't really had a rehearsal place for a while, and I was kind of out of the business for some years there, and there has been the pest in between and stuff. But we got ourselves a proper rehearsal place like just before Christmas, and we started making new material. I don't know how much we have, like 3-4 songs ready. And for the first time since maybe Hades Rise, I have gotten to make some riffs as well. So I'm happy. I think I already have 2 of the newest songs that are almost all mine. But so we're excited, and hopefully Tank Christian from Obliteration and lots of other bands will play drums with us. So at the moment, it's just me and Aggressor. Both of us are playing guitar at rehearsals, and Christian is playing drums. So that's how it goes. And then we will introduce the stuff to Blasphemer when he comes around.
Yeah. And then, of course, the last thing we want to talk about, because I know you have a new band, Coffin Storm, which is formed in 2020. So,
Yeah.
how did the idea of Coffin Storm come to be?
We just wanted to. I hadn't played with Olav or a Bestial Tormentor since we played a bit together in the Vakre Von, and but that's 15 years ago. So we're old best mates, and I didn't really have much going on at the time either, because I had quit playing live with Noir. So I don't know, we phoned each other up and decided to meet once a week just to play guitar together, and that's what we did. And yeah, I thought it would be, because I had a lot of material for Lamented Souls like in the bank, but I didn't really use any of that. Maybe one riff or something, because it came out a bit more thrashy than I had expected. But it's
Yeah.
still like slow, and we didn't have any plans or ambitions or anything. It was just to meet up and play. But then it got a bit more serious after I think Olav played some stuff for Fenris one night, and he liked it, and after that he asked if he wanted to do the vocals. So, and Fenris even sent that like first tape to Peaceville, I think. And they said, yeah, we can release this just whenever you're finished. And that was like 2-3 years ago. But we took our time, and it's still, we still just want to keep it like a fun project, and It's so slow, not fast, but heavy riffing is the main focus.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was
Mm,
listening to the album. I feel like the songs come from like an 80s place where it's a bit heavy, doomy, and thrashed without going too far in any direction, it seems.
yeah, yeah, you're probably right. So, but yeah, I was surprised a bit myself by the direction it took, but I'm pleased with it, and I'm looking forward to making more of that now that I know what it is, because I came in a bit late. So the only song I really made on that album is the Open the Gallows, the long ass one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fairly easy to us to make this kind of music, because it's just very heavy riffs. We're thinking and Exodus and Metallica and Creator, whatever. Even if it doesn't sound like, that's where we draw the inspiration from.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like that song. And it's like one of my favorite songs. It's like a 10.5 minutes, but it's just, I think it's like your guys' most experimental song.
Yeah, yeah. Originally, I thought that maybe we can have like some instrumental, like Orion or Call of Cthulhu or something. But yeah, we threw vocals on it, which I'm very happy about. And I had Arild from Obliteration play a fantastic guitar solo on there as well. So yeah, it kind of flies by. I'm very satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And so kind of like in the end to wrap things up, what's next for any of your projects? Is there a chance maybe you could bring either of your bands to the States for a tour eventually? We'd love to have you, because I know you're going to be at Maryland Death Fest with Or
Mm.
Noir, which I am looking forward to. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only band I'm playing live with. So, Coffin Storm will not play any live shows. Fenris doesn't play live, and that's. But yeah, Oranor will certainly come, and we're playing New York the day before Maryland Death Fest. I guess it's a cool show with Death Hammer and stuff there. But it's a nightmare though with the visa situation. I'm going to on my visa interview to the American embassy tomorrow, so I hope that will work out. But I spent like 5 nights filling out all the forms, and it's a fucking nightmare, and it's expensive as well. So it's
Yeah, I
not
can only imagine.
so much. It's the bureaucracy from hell, but it's worth it once you're past the border. So yeah, but hopefully we can come back sooner than soon. But first, I want to make a new album, and yeah, it does look promising for the first time in years.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking
It's
forward to it. So thank you, Apollyon, for this interview. It was great to be able to chat with you and learn a lot about your bands and stuff. Is
uh,
just any final words you want to say to the viewers that are watching this to close this out?
not really. I'm sorry, I didn't have any. I'm going to rehearse later on. I have to drive, so I couldn't. Uh, I'm used to having a beer or three during these sessions, because it calms my nerves. So if I seem stressed out, it was blame the rehearsal with the Faust. We're doing some Bathory tribute band at the Beyond the Gates festival this in August, is it? So
Wow,
I'm going to play some Bathory songs later on tonight.
that's nice. So
Mm.
everybody, Apollyon from Or Noir and other bunch of other bands. We'll see you next time.